Right. Good morning, everyone. Are you able to hear me? Yesterday we were discussing about Lambda expression rules. We completed 14 rules. I hope all you people practiced. Any questions? Okay. Now this session, let us continue next rules. So we completed yesterday Lambda expression enhancements in Java 9, Java 11. In Java 9, we cannot use underscore as a parameter name. From Java 11 onwards, we can use where as a parameter data type. When you don't know what is the type of the function, okay, the function parameter you don't want to specify explicitly, you just wanted to take some parameter, that's where we can use where. Okay, now there is an interesting point, try to observe here. I'm creating a method like this, class test main method, int a equal to 50, int p equal to 60, okay, and here I'm creating Lambda expression. Is it a Lambda expression? Yes. Parameters, arrow, body. Yesterday I told you Lambda expression is nothing but a method body, nothing more. Now in this method body, can I create local variables? Yes. Can I write some logic? Yes. Can I do some initialization? Yes. Whatever you can do inside a method, everything you can do. But one small point you should observe here, this Lambda expression is a method body, but you must consider it as a local body. Should not consider as a regular method body. You must consider as a local body. The meaning is, it is a part of, this Lambda expression is part of what? Main method. It is a part of one method. Lambda expression is a part of one method. So you must consider it as a one local body. Are you catching my point? Tell me, when you create some local body inside a variable chapter we discussed, the variables created inside this local body is available only up to this local block completed, open bracket, closed bracket completed. Then next, the variables created inside method are available to local block also. In the local block also that variable scope is available. Then tell me, here I am writing int p equal to 70. Here I am recreating this p variable. Already p variable has created inside this method. Can you recreate again in the local block? No, not allowed. So if you try, compiler will throw error. So what is the important point? Inside Lambda body, Lambda expression body, either Lambda expression parameter names or Lambda expression local variable names must not be same as the names of enclosing method parameter and local variables. Are you catching my point? Look at here. I have created int a local variable in main method, int p local variable in main method. Now Lambda expression parameter name is the same as local variable. Here you will get compile time error. And next, now I'm taking now the parameter b. With the b name, there is no local variable in this method, so no problem. Next, inside local body, local block, I am taking int p. Int p is what? It is local variable of Lambda expression, which is already created in previous method. Okay, so that's why here and here you will get compile time error. What the point? The local variables created inside method are still available to the scope of Lambda expression body. Hence, you are not allowed to recreate them as either Lambda parameter or Lambda local variable. If you try, compiler will throw error. Let us test this point. I'm trying to take one functional interface. I1. You can take any name, no problem. Void M1 of, I'm taking int a comma string s. Any parameter types you can take, not object, no objection. Then here I am writing I1 equal to I1 equal to now how many parameters are there? 2 parameters. I told you to create Lambda expression, functional interface method parameters you copy paste here. This is a basic syntax of Lambda. Now paste parameters. Parameter types are optional, you can ignore. And now inside Lambda body, you can write whatever you want. This is the basic. Now I am taking local variable int p equal to 10. Now in the method level, I am writing one variable with the name int a equal to 10. Is this program compiled or not? Not compiled. We'll get compile time error. Variable a already defined. Variable a is already defined in method main. You cannot choose Lambda parameter. If you take, compiler will throw error. Okay, fine. Next, I'm taking another parameter, another variable int p equal to 20. Then we'll get second compile time error, line number 11. Variable p is already defined. Variable p is already defined in the method main method. You cannot again recreate. Everyone understand? Now I'm commenting this Lambda and I'm writing one more Lambda here. I'm taking parameter whatever like x I'm writing. Here in place of p equal to 10, in place of int p equal to 10, I'm writing p equal to some value 30. Is it allowed? This is assignment. Is it allowed or not allowed? Think. Is it allowed or not allowed? P equal to 30 I have written. Is it allowed or not allowed? So this is a p variable, okay, local variable. Can I access local variable inside Lambda body? Yes, because this variable p is having scope still. Still it has a scope till end of the method. So can I write p equal to 30 here? Come on. Everybody guess. Allowed or not allowed? It's not allowed. Compiler throw error. It's not allowed. Compiler will throw error. Local variable referenced from a Lambda expression must be final or effectively final. What the meaning of final? It must declare as a final, or effectively final means what? You are not allowed to assign equal to 30. If you try, compiler will throw error. So if you are accessing a method local variable inside Lambda expression body, you can only use it for reading, either for displaying or to use in the some calculation, but you cannot use it for what? Modification. So this is the very important rule, remember. And now two rules are there. Rule number one, the variables declared inside a method cannot be used as Lambda parameter or cannot be used as cannot be used inside method to recreate. If you try, compiler throw error. Second rule is what? You cannot access local variable, a method local variable inside Lambda body to modify its value. If you try, compiler will throw error. So that points I have mentioned here. Look at the rule number 16. Inside Lambda expression, if you access the current enclosing methods a parameter or local variable, that parameter or local variable must be final or effectively final, else compiler will throw error. It means we must not modify method parameters and local variable values inside Lambda body. Tell me, here there is error because recreating. Here no error. We can read all the three variables, okay? And here compile time error because it is not allowed to modify because this is a method local variable. Okay, can I hope these two rules are all you understand? These two rules are very, very important rules. Okay, many times you commit mistake while writing Lambda body. While writing Lambda expression, many times you will commit mistake, and these are compulsory asking written test questions. Requesting you practice and remember. Okay, then next, this keyword usage in Lambda expression. Okay, now listen. This is very interesting point. This keyword and super keyword in Lambda expression usage. This keyword and super keyword usage in Lambda expression. I'm taking this interface. I'm writing this test class. Okay, I'm writing my own class called A. Inside this class, I'm writing one variable int a equal to 10. Class B int b equal to 20. Inside class B, I'm writing one non-static method. Now, I am preparing Lambda expression for that interface I1 equal to A, comma, yes. Lambda, open bracket, closed bracket. And I'm writing here system.out.println. I'm taking one local variable, int b equal to 20 or 30. Is this Lambda expression definition compiled or not? Come on, all the people think and tell me. Is this lambda expression body compiled or not? Look at there. This is local variable and this is parameter variable. There is a class level variable and there is a super class level variable. Extends A. This B is a extends A. Tell me, this lambda expression, is it compiled or not? Guess and tell me. Come on, come on, come on. Is it compiled or not compiled? Compiled successfully, no problem. Semicolon expected after lambda body, we forgot. Control 1, compile successfully. Why? Array, it is the variable scope of method. You know, right? Variable shadowing. You can create a variable with a class level variable name as a method parameter and local variable, no problem. It comes under variable shadowing, no problem. Compile successfully. Now my question. Inside this method, if you write system.out.println of A and system.out.println of B. Now this A and B refers to which variable? A class and B class variables or lambda local variable and parameter? Lambda local variable and parameter. How can I test it? You have to call I1.m1 by passing. You must call this lambda method, right? I1.m1 of, I must pass A value, let's say 15 and S value double quotes HK. Something I'm writing like this. And then what happened now? Tell me now. This 15 will go on to store in this A variable, right? And HK will come and store in S variable. Then inside B variable memory created with value 30, A value will come 15 and B value will come 30. But first of all, if you want to execute this lambda, first of all, this M1 method should call. Na? To call this M1 method, I need B object, right? I need B object. So in the test class, I'm creating B object, B1 equal to new B. Okay, then B1.m1 I call. Hello, this M1 method is different from lambda M1 method. Both are different. Control 1, compile successfully. Control 2, executed. Look at that. As per our expectation, output is coming 15 and 30. Hello, everybody got clarity? Yeah? Now try to answer my question. How can we differentiate lambda local variable and parameter from class level instance variables and super class level variable? How can I differentiate? Anybody can explain now? How can I differentiate? For that, you must call this dot, this dot. How can I differentiate local variable from class level variable? By using this keyword, this dot B. If I write this dot B, then which B will come? Which B will come? Lambda body, lambda variable or class level variable. This refers to whom? Current object, current enclosing class object. Hello, in last class I told you, lambda itself is an object. Yes or no? Lambda itself is an object. Now this keyword refers to lambda object or enclosing class object. Anyone can guess? Lambda, I mean this keyword from the lambda expression body refers to lambda object or current enclosing class object. Array, Buji, you forgot one point. Lambda expression is an object. Correct? Lambda expression is an object, but does it have state? It is a method declaration, right? It is a method declaration. Now, it is at runtime, it is enclosed by one class object. But in this enclosing class, do you have any instance variables? No. Lambda expression is just a method. Lambda expression object contains only this method. It doesn't have state. So this keyword from lambda expression refers to current enclosing class instance variables. Everyone understand? This is another very important point. Please try to concentrate and try to understand. This dot B, when you write here, this refers to, okay, lambda expression is also an object, but it doesn't have any state. And so this keyword refers to to current enclosing class state. Okay, current enclosing class object state. Hello, try to answer. In order to execute this lambda expression, you must call its enclosing method. To call its enclosing method, you must create enclosing class object. So that this keyword refers to the current object using which you call this M1 method. In that M1 method, current object, whatever the value available for B variable, that value we will get. Can I hope all you people understand? Tell me, are you realizing the lambda expression all points learning is nothing but variables, methods, and non-static members chapters revising? Na? 3 chapters are revising. Variables, methods, and non-static members chapter, nothing more, this keyword, right? Come on, take care of it. Okay, just recollect. Don't feel lambda expression is a new concept. It just a syntax is new, but everything is what? Same. All concepts just you are revising. Look at the value 20 coming. 20 coming from here or 20 coming from current object. 20 coming from current object of M1 method. How can I prove that? You modify value B1 dot B equal to 70, you write, save, and tell me what is the this dot B value you will get? 70 you will get. Current object value you will get. Can you hope to now understand? Now I am writing here this dot A. Is it compiled? I am writing this dot A. Is it compiled? I'm writing this dot A. Is it compiled? Yes, it is compiled successfully, no problem. Now tell me, this A refers to whom? B class object contains how many members? B class members and also what? A class members. Na? B class and A class and object class members. In A class we have A variable. In B class we have B variable. Right? 0, 0. And then now 0 replaced with 10 and here 0 replaced with 20 and now B variable we modified to 70 and now reference is 1010. That object reference is passed to M1 method. Here this keyword pointing to whom now? Current object. Hello, everyone understand? Now lambda expression method. Lambda expression method, this keyword is referred to what? The enclosing method, this keyword. It is not having any this keyword because this lambda expression doesn't have this keyword because now it doesn't have the state. That's why in lambda expression, this keyword refers to current enclosing method, this only. So this dot B is B value 70 is coming. This dot A, this dot A, this dot A variable not there. Going to super class available. From super class what value coming? 10 will come. Control 1, compile successfully. Executed successfully. Output coming 10. Now I am trying to develop variable hiding. I hope you remember variable hiding. Int A equal to I am writing here. Let's say 17 I am writing. And tell me this dot A, what value we will get? 10 or 17? 17 you will get. And then how can we differentiate variable hiding from the class A? Here we must use what? Super dot. Okay, super dot you must use. Super dot A, compile successfully and executed. We are getting output 10, 17 and 10. So tell me now finally what the point you discussed in this test case. In lambda expression, this keyword refers to current enclosing method, current object. Means it accesses current class variables, but not lambda expression variables. This keyword and super keyword doesn't refers to lambda expression object because lambda expression object doesn't contain state. So they refers to current enclosing method class properties. So that is the point I have highlighted under rule number 17. Inside lambda expression, we can use this keyword. But unlike in anonymous inner class, in a lambda expression, this keyword refers to outer class enclosing method current object because lambda expression doesn't have state. Where in anonymous inner class, this keyword refers to its own object because it can have state. Rule. If you declare enclosing method as a static, tell me, can I use this keyword? If I declare this M1 method as a static, can I use this and super keywords? No, because inside static method, this keyword is not there. We'll get compile time errors. Non-static variable, this cannot be referenced from static context. Non-static variable super cannot be referenced from static context. Okay, then inside lambda expression, we cannot use this keyword because static method doesn't have current object and this keyword. Test below M5 method by declaring it as static. Like look at the interface given. At the rate functional interface, I have not written in these methods. Still compiler considering it as functional interface because we are maintaining only one abstract method. Okay, right, effectively functional interface we created. Then now int A equal to 10, M5 method. This is anonymous inner class. Okay, look at there. It is anonymous inner class. If I write new interface name following by body, it is anonymous inner class. Inside anonymous inner class, we can create state and we can override method. Here, this dot a refers to whom? This dot a refers to anonymous inner class a variable. Okay. If you want to refers to outer class variable, you must use the syntax as example dot this dot a. Already catching my point? Example dot this dot a, class name dot this dot a. If you write, then outer class a will come. But lambda expression, if you take now it doesn't have state. The variable you declared inside lambda expression become local variable. This a refers to 70. This dot a refers to class a. That's it. Can I hope you understand anonymous inner class wise and lambda expression wise? Lambda expression is alternative to anonymous inner class. I told you. So you have to compare with anonymous inner class. Any doubts in the 3 points? First point we discussed. What the first point we discussed? Today first point what we discussed? We cannot create lambda expression parameter or lambda expression local variable with method level parameter and local variable. If you try, compiler will throw error. Point number 2, if you are accessing method level parameter or local variable inside lambda expression body, for reading no problem, but not allowed to modify, compiler throw error. Third point, inside lambda expression body, this keyword and super keyword refers to current enclosing class, current object, current class properties and super class properties. They doesn't refers to lambda expression because lambda expression object doesn't contain state. But in anonymous inner class, this refers to anonymous inner class state because anonymous inner class contains state. Okay, so it refers to current anonymous inner class object. If you want to differentiate current inner class state from current enclosing class object state, you have to use a class name dot this dot a. Okay, wonderful. Up to now, understand? Can I go for next rule? Can I go for next rule? Yesterday, someone has asked me a question, sir, what about exceptions, sir? You told about accessibility modifier, execution level modifier, return type parameters. But what about exceptions? Now it's the time we need to discuss about exceptions. Exception handling, all the people know, na? Why I explained lambda expression after exception handling chapter completed? Because in lambda expression, we need to also discuss about checked exception, unchecked exception. If you don't know about checked exception, this rule I cannot make you understand, na? That's why lambda expression I'm covering after exception handling chapter completed. Tell me now, lambda expression is an implementation of functional interface? Yes or no? It is an implementation of functional interface. Then whatever the rule you discussed with checked exception overriding method, that rule is applicable here, na? If this lambda expression implementing functional interface method is not throwing checked exception, we must not throw any checked exception from this lambda expression body. Compiler will throw error, but we can throw unchecked exception from lambda expression body. Unchecked exception not verified by compiler, na? This rule is the rule of checked exception, but not lambda expression rule. Hello, understand? Now, for example, I'm creating one functional interface with M5 method that throws interrupted exception. It is a checked exception. Then I'm creating another interface, another functional interface with M5 method which throws exception. Another functional interface which doesn't throw any exception. Now I'm trying to develop lambda expression for all these functional interfaces. I51 equal to, tell me, any compiled error? I'm creating empty body, empty lambda expression. I5, M5 method has throws interrupted exception. What the rule? When you are implementing method, you no need to throw any exception. Correct? If super class method is reporting checked telling that you throw interrupted exception, that's option, your wish. If you want to throw, throw. Otherwise, don't throw. Choice is yours. Okay. If people are confusing, let me take it 6. Let me take it as 7. Okay. Let me take it as I1, I2. I3, I4, I5. Just apply overriding rules, nothing more. Just apply overriding rules, don't confuse. First you try to work yourself and I will help you in the system. I'll show you in the system. Now tell me, first I5. In this I5 interface, I have written void M5 throws. Interrupted exception is what type of exception, Anna? It is a checked exception. The name itself is telling checked exception. What the meaning of checked exception? You cannot throw checked exception as you like. Currently, interface I5 M5 method has checked exception. Then subclass, while overriding that method, it can ignore throwing that exception. You can ignore it. Yes, I ignored. Compiled or not? Yes. If you want to throw checked exception, if you want to throw an exception from this method, from the subclass overriding method, yes, you are allowed to throw new interrupted exception. You can throw it, not a problem. Okay, you can throw. Hello, if you are throwing an exception, I must report that exception. When you are throwing an exception, I must report. Hello, it is a normal method or it is a lambda expression. Lambda expression. Lambda expression body is attached to the declaration given in the functional interface. That means this parenthesis implicitly compiler will replace as like this, right? That means the exception you are throwing here is indirectly matched with the declaration given in the functional interface. So no need to write. Like in regular method, in a lambda expression, you no need to write throws here. Are you catching my point? It is successfully compiled. Now, from the lambda body, I am throwing different checked exception. Tell me, is this exception matched with the reporting exception in the superclass? Nothing but in the interface? No. It's not matched. So compiler will throw error here. We will verify all these points. Next, I am throwing arithmetic exception. Yeah, you can throw arithmetic exception. It is an unchecked exception. There is no rule on unchecked exception. Okay, let us verify these points in the system. First, let us create one functional interface. Interface. Let's take same name again, I1. You can start practicing adding functional interface annotation and void M1. I am writing here throws interrupted exception semicolon. Okay. Then inside this method, I am trying to implement that functional interface. Okay. I1 equal to parenthesis arrow body. I have written empty body, empty implementation means I am not throwing any exception. Any objection to compiler? No objection. Okay. Throwing exception is a creating problem. If you don't want to create any problem, compiler doesn't worry. Throwing exception is a terminating the program. Throwing exception means terminating program. Okay. Right. Next. Now I am trying to write I1, I2 equal to, I am throwing exception. Which exception you are allowed to throw? Only whatever exception you mention in the declaration of this abstract method. Only that exception you can throw. I am trying to write here control 1 compile semicolon required, control 1 compile successfully, no problem. Next, I am trying to throw different checked exception, class not found exception. Is it allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Okay, compiler will throw error. Observe. Unreported exception, class not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. Tell me, can I write a declaration here? No. Can I write here throws class not found exception here? No. Let me write here I4. Okay, it is not a regular method. Okay, okay. I am trying to write here throws class not found exception. Is it allowed or not? Not allowed. It's a wrong syntax. Compiler throwing error. Arrow expected. After parenthesis, you are not allowed to write any statement. Arrow lambda operator is expected. You are not allowed to write whatever you like. Okay. So what the point? The exception you are throwing from lambda body must match to the exception reporting in the functional interface method declaration. If they are matched, then compile. Else compiler throw error. Now, I am throwing another exception which is not matched. Is there any problem or not? Now I am removing it. Okay, look at here. I wanted to write something like this. Is it allowed or not? Try. I'm writing this exception inside try catch. Any problem now? If you catch the exception, no problem, okay? If you catch exception, you can throw. When you are not catching exception, only all these cases. As long as you are catching, no problem, that exception will not go out. If you not catch, only the problem. If you catch, no problem. Compile, or somewhere brackets are missing. This catch block close. This is extra bracket. Okay, now it's compiled successfully. When you throw an exception, if you don't catch, then only rules. If you are catching, no problem. Next, I am trying to throw I1, I5 equal to, I6 equal to, I am writing lambda arrow from the body, I am throwing throw new arithmetic exception. Tell me, is there any compile time error? No compile time error, because arithmetic exception is unchecked exception. It's no need to match. Can I hope all you people understand the rule number 1? Now repeating again, if a functional interface method is reporting a checked exception, then from the lambda body, you can ignore throwing that exception, or you can throw exception. If you are throwing an exception, that exception must be the same functional interface method reporting checked exception. If you take different checked exception, compiler will throw error. Then what the solution to this problem? Like regular method, if you try to report, not allowed, compiler throw error, wrong syntax, you can only allowed to catch, or you can throw unchecked exception, not a problem. Okay, I am taking another case. Another case I am taking. Look at here. If a functional interface contain throws exception, tell me, throwable is the superclass of all types of exceptions. Throwable is the superclass of all types of exceptions. Exception is the subclass of throwable, and it is superclass of exception type exceptions. We have two types of exceptions: exception type exceptions and error type exceptions. Now try to answer. Will you get compile time error anywhere in these implementations? Will you get compile time error in there in any implementations? Look at there. Super class, nothing but functional interface is reporting exception. I don't want to throw an exception. Any problem? No problem. I want to throw interrupted exception. The exception you are throwing must be matched with the reporting exception in the functional interface. In the functional interface, reporting exception is exception. Exception is super class. Interrupted exception can throw via exception. Class not found exception. Class not found exception can throw via exception. Okay, arithmetic exception, unchecked exception, no need to worry. So all cases are compiled successfully, no error. Now I am trying to throw the same exception. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed. Allowed or not allowed? Allowed. No problem. Okay. And next, I am taking throwable. Bolo. I am taking throwable. Is it allowed or not allowed? Throwable is the super class of exception. Can super class can throw via subclass? Not possible. Super class to subclass not matching. So compiler will throw error. Unreported exception throwable must be caught or declared be thrown. Okay. Next, I am throwing error. Is it allowed or not allowed? Yes. Allowed is unchecked exception. No need to worry. It will not, compiler will not check. Okay. Throw new error. Compile successful. I have to comment this line. I have to comment error, no problem. Okay, all these points are related to Lambda expression or related to exception handling chapter. All these points related to exception handling, method of overriding. Okay, then now I want to take one more test case, okay, where I am taking just empty method, not reporting any exception, no exception. Bolo. Now, if you don't report any exception, what does it mean? We are informing to subclass programmer or a subclass programmer or implementation class programmer, you don't throw any exception, Rabbi. Now I'm writing Lambda with the empty body. Is it allowed or not? Allowed. Compile successful. Okay, Lambda expression is an implementation body. So now it is an implementation of that interface. So no, I'm not throwing any exception. It is allowed. The next, I wanted to throw an exception. Which exception you need to throw? You can throw. Which exception you can throw? Only you can throw. Only you can throw. Only you can throw unchecked exception. Throw new runtime exception. Unchecked exception only you can throw. You cannot throw checked exception. Look at there, no compile time error. If you try to throw checked exception like class not found or some other checked exception, you will get compile time error. Exception is not unreported exception, class not found exception must be caught or declared to be thrown. Erbuji, following next, if I am trying to throw exception, class exception, okay, nothing but directly exception. Exception is also a checked exception. So you must handle, not handling, so throwing error. Next, throwable is also checked exception. All these points you know. Exception handling chapter points. Compiler throw error. Next, can I throw error? Can I throw error? Yes. Why? Because it is unchecked exception. So final conclusion, tell me. From the functional interface method, if you don't report checked exception, from Lambda expression body, you cannot throw checked exception. From the functional interface method, if you're reporting checked exception in Lambda expression body, you can ignore throwing checked exception. Or if you want to throw exception, that should be the same checked exception reported in functional interface method. If you are trying to throw different checked exception or super class, compiler throw error. But unchecked exception, there is no restriction, you can throw. That's it. This is the checked exception rule. Babu, all people comfortable? Any doubts here? Up to these 18 rules, all points are understood? All these 18 rules. Let us quickly revise all these rules. Okay, tell me rule number 1. What the rule number 1? We must have one functional interface to create Lambda expression. Rule number 2, parameters rules. Parameters must be same as functional interface method. Return value must be same or lesser than functional interface method return type. And next, we can throw the checked exception only if it is reporting from functional interface method. So this is first declaration. The next following by here, param and local variable names must not be same as method local and param names. Method local variable values we cannot modify. We cannot modify in Lambda expression body. This keyword and super keyword refers to current object class and its superclass members. Okay, next, parenthesis optional for one parameter, body is optional for one statement, body is mandatory for return keyword. If you want to use a return keyword, then body is compulsory. If you pass lambda expression as argument, semicolon is not allowed, otherwise semicolon must be there. We cannot use underscore as param name, we can use where only from Java 11 onwards as param type. So these are the 13 basic points you can follow, and a complete list of rules I have given already. Okay, now let me ask a question. Listen, I'm writing test 05_6. Observe now, someone has asked generics not understand. Please try to focus. Now I'm trying to explain generics, please understand. Functional interface I am creating with the name same I1. Inside I'm creating one method parameter with int I1. Method parameter int I1. Then tell me, when you create lambda expression, I1 equal to, the parameter type can be only, below, the parameter type can be only int type only, na? I1 dot M1 of, I can pass either 5 or it's a lesser range values. Yes or no? If you try to pass 5L, it will throw error. Long type not allowed. Erbuji, all people understand? Look at that, I'm getting compile time error, semicolon expected where? I forgot semicolon again. Control 1, compile, compiler throwing error. Variable I1 is already defined, defined. Oh, I1 array, local variable again I am taking, so not allowed. Let me take here some X, local variable rule, okay? Local variable name and parameter name should not be same. Okay, I have to change the X here. Control 1, compile. Incompatible types, possible OC conversion of long to int. Now I have to comment this line, compile successful. Now I want to pass what you call long type also. Can I overload that method here? Come on, can I overload that method here? If I overload method, can it be a functional interface? No. Compiler will throw error. Babu, this is not a functional interface. Unexpected @functional interface annotation. It is now not a functional interface. Why you are writing this annotation? Remove this annotation. Everyone understand? So now what to do? You cannot overload method. You have to create another functional interface. You have to create another functional interface with the name I2 with the parameter long. Hello, did you understand the problem? If you define a method with one parameter, then you can pass only values of that parameter type to the lambda expression. You cannot pass higher range types, or you cannot pass incompatible types. Then you have to define one more functional interface, and I have to take I2 equal to, what do you write? Now here I can write X arrow system.out.println, system.out.println. What do you write now? X. Can I remove this parenthesis? Yes. Okay. And now try to compile successfully. Here X type is what, Buje? Here X type is what? Long type now, because it is assigned to I2. Now I'm calling I2 dot M1 of, I'm passing int type. Allowed or not? Allowed. Compiled. I'm passing single quote A. Allowed or not? Allowed. Compiled. And next, I am passing what you call let's say 7L. Is it allowed or not? Allowed. Why? Because X type is now long type. Compiled, executed. We are getting 597 and 7. And tell me, am I allowed to pass 5.6 double type? No. Compiler will throw error. Can I pass Boolean value true? No. Compiler will throw error. Can I pass double quotes a string? No. Compiler throw error. Can I hope everyone understand? Can I pass my own class object new A? My own class object new A. I have to create first of all class A. Na? I'm creating class A. Can I pass my own class object new A? No. Compiler will throw error. Then tell me, what is the solution to this problem? For every new type of argument, there should be a one functional interface. Now, that is the rule number 1 or rule number 2. Parameters must be same as a functional interface. Functional interface method parameters. Yes or no? Parameters must be same as functional interface parameter types. Okay. Then if parameters and arguments are not matched, you have to create new functional interfaces. It's a burden to me. So what to do? Here Java 5 version has given a concept called what? Generics. Like how you are passing arguments to a parameter, you can also pass parameter types to the parameter. All are catching my point? Parameters are meant for making arguments dynamically to pass. Now using generics concept, you can also pass parameter types dynamically. At runtime, you can pass arguments to parameter. Similarly, you can pass parameter types at runtime. Okay, look at that. For that purpose, generics concept has given how to define interface. Now I am writing one interface. Open bracket, closure bracket, if you write, it is a normal interface. But I want to create generic interface. Then after interface name, you must write angular bracket. Okay, in a angular bracket, you mention just T. Okay, na Bujay? You must mention just T. T stands for type. Which type of parameter you want to pass? That type you pass. How? Observe. I want to work with int. Then you have to write I3 angular bracket int. Generics will not work with primitive types. Generic work with only reference type. Int place what I should write? Integer I3 equal to parenthesis arrow body. Okay, tell me now. Now what is the x? Now I'm writing x here. Okay, what is this x type now? Come on. What is this x type now? X type is integer. So whatever the type you mention here, that type will be substituted here. Okay, then inside this interface body, okay, wherever T you have used, the type will be applied there. Now I am writing here void M1 of TT semicolon. T is this parameter and second T is a variable. Hello, all people understand? Now try to answer. This is what interface it is? Normal interface or generic interface? Generic interface. What is the type of this M1 method? Generic type. Not specific type, generic type. That type will be specified at what time? At the time of referenced variable creation. When referenced variable you are creating, that time it will be specified. I3, when reference variable creating, you should specify the type T, then the type will be applied here. Now I specified integer, then tell me X place I am taking T here. Tell me what the T type now? Integer type. Nothing but int type. Now tell me, using this I3, what value I can pass? M1 of, I can pass either 5 or I can pass what? I dot M1 of, what do you pass? Single quote, A. Hello, sleeping or following? Sleeping or following? Normal sleeping or deep sleeping? System dot out dot println off. Deep sleeping or normal sleeping? Bujay? And tell me, here I am giving T. Below, compiled successfully. No, right? Incompatible types, char cannot be converted to integer. Because now currently it's working with wrapper classes. Na? To the wrapper class, can you pass char? No, right? Char will be converted to character class. Remember? Char can be converted to character class and can be assigned. Can you take primitive type int here? No, not allowed. Unexpected type. Only wrapper class you can write. Then tell me which type of values you can pass now. Only int types you can pass. Even you cannot pass char also. Okay. Then next, sir. Now I want to pass character type. What to do? You create one more referenced variable, one more lambda expression, with what type? Character I4 equal to T arrow. What do you write? Same logic I am writing. System.out.println T below. Here I am writing T dot M1 of 97. Is it allowed? Is it allowed or not allowed? I have to write I4 dot array. Oh, I3. Look at that compiler throwing error, incompatible types, int cannot be converted to character. So you can pass only character. Int you cannot pass. You can only pass character. So single quote I am giving. Is it allowed? Allowed. Now, listen. Sir, whenever I am changing argument to one type to another type, am I creating new interfaces or only one interface? We are working with one interface. Just I am trying to create new Lambda expressions. Everyone understand the point? Earlier, whenever you want to change value, you are creating new interface and then new variable. But now you are creating only one interface. Every time you are creating new reference variable of this interface and Lambda expression with that type. Everybody got the advantage of generic functional interface. Everyone got advantage of functional interface. Understand? Someone has asked the question yesterday. For you again, I explaining. Did you get clarity? I didn't remember your name. Now you must ask me question, sir. I want to create one Lambda expression to accept any type of value. What to do? Tell me. I should take the parameter type is superclass to all. Object. If I take object, I can pass 97. I can pass A. I can pass 5L. I can pass 5L. Tell me, I can pass 5.6. I can pass true. I can pass string. I can pass our class object A. Your wish. All are compiled. Execute. 5A, 97, A5, 5.6, true, A class object. Can hope everyone understand generic syntax? What the rule on generic syntax? If you providing Lambda expression to a generic syntax functional interface, with what type you have created the referenced variable of this Lambda expression, you must pass arguments of that type only. Read this point. If functional interface is a generic type, the Lambda expression parameters type will be the type we used in creating the referenced variable or in method parameter or in method return type. For example, I take an addition, add of T1 comma T2. Look at that. How many places I have used T? I mentioned one T here. That T I have used as a return type, used as a parameter, used as second parameter. Then the return type of this method, parameters of this method is the type you have specified here while declaring variable. Tell me, here I return A1 with addition of integer. Then tell me, the parameter types and the return type of this Lambda expression will be integer, nothing but int. Now T1 comma T2, T1 plus T2. Tell me, now T1 plus T2 expression result type is what? Int. So I call add method assign to int. Can I pass double values? No, compiler will throw error. If you want double values, what you need to do? You need to define one more Lambda expression with a double type reference variable. Addition double A2 equal to T1 comma T2 arrow T1 plus T2. And now I am passing double type values, accepted, double type accepted, and result is also what? Double type. Okay, na? Result is also double type. So you need to assign to double variables. Can I pass int values? If I take double parameter, can I pass int values? If I take double type, can I pass int values? Just now we verified na, to the integer, carry is not allowed. Same way, if I take double, can I pass integers? I4 of double I6 equal to parenthesis arrow flower bracket. I'm taking here, okay, T arrow, just a dummy lambda expression I'm writing to see is this called or not. I6 dot M1 of 5. I should write I3. Incompatible types int cannot be converted to double. Already catch my point? This is unboxing, Nana. Int is converted to integer. Integer cannot be assigned to double because their wrapper classes are not compatible. Na? Wrapper classes are incompatible. Hello? Did you understand? Wrapper classes are incompatible. 5 is of type int. Int will be converted to integer. Integer cannot be assigned to double. Comfortable? Huh? So we are not allowed to assign to lesser type, okay? Because these are wrapper classes. Generics are not working with regular primitive types. If I take small d here, int can be assigned to double. But generics will not work with the primitives. Generics will work with only reference, unexpected type. When take a reference, now wrapper class, 5 converted to integer. Integer cannot be assigned to double because they are not subclasses. Remember it. Only same type we can pass. Maybe test case purpose we have written here. Now I want to pass a string concatenation. Then what you pass now? Create another reference variable with a string. Then you can pass a string arguments. Result is also coming what? String. Can I hope you understand generic story? Now I want you create one more functional interface with different parameter and return type. Possible or not? Yes. You can write T comma R. You can create a functional interface with 2 generic parameters T comma R. T stands for type, R stands for return type. T stands for parameter type, R stands for return type. R stands for return type. Okay, na? A method has 2 things, right? Parameter type and return type. Now T1, T2. So both parameters type is what? T. And the return type is what? R. How can I specify parameter return type while creating variables? Look at that. Same, take addition. Which type parameter I want? Integer. As a result the expression result I want return type as string. Then lambda expression you have to develop. Parameters T1, T2 are what type? Integer. And you must return the result as a string. You have to convert it to string and return. And assign the method call. This method call to string type. Understand? Then addition of double comma integer when you write. Then parameters types are what? Double. And you must return result from this lambda expression as what type? Int. You must typecast to int and return. Then method call assigned to int. I hope you understand. Sir, I want first parameter as one type, second parameter as another type. What to do? You take here T comma something U. Your wish. You can take any generic name. I am writing TUR. You want something else, you can write whatever you like. And now what do you write now here? U. TU. And next, how many generics I have to write here? 3. Integer comma, long comma, string. First parameter type integer. Second parameter type long. Third parameter type string. Return type string. T1 type is integer. T2 type is long. And result must be string. Can you pass 5? Yes. Can you pass 6? No. You must pass as 6L. Second type is long. Na? Long is 6L. Then return type is string. So like this, you have to work with a generic parameter interface. Emma did you get clarity on this point? How to work with the generic parameter interface? Okay, listen. Here if I write T, you can pass any type of parameter, your wish. Okay, if I write T, you can pass any type of parameter. Now, I want to take the parameter boundaries I want to define. Boundaries means I don't want any type. For example, if I write here object, you can pass any type. I don't want like that. I want to define the boundaries. To define the boundaries, you have to write something like this. T extends A, I should write. Type extends of boundary. Which boundary? Only A type I want. If I write T, you are allowed to pass all types. You can pass all types. Any type you can specify. But when you are creating I4 lambda expression variable, the allowed type must be only A or its subclass. A or its subclass. I am writing B extends A. And I am writing C extends B. And I am writing class D without any relation, just class D. Okay, now I am writing I4 angular bracket of, I am writing integer I7 equal to T arrow empty body I am writing. Is it compiled or not compiled? Compiler software will verify that T, what the T now? Integer. Okay, na? Is the T subclass of A? No. Compiler will throw error. That is the rule. Look at that. Type argument integer is not within bounds of type variable T. Everybody understand at this point? If you define a functional interface by defining the boundaries to this type T extends A, then you are not allowed to take whatever the type here. If you don't define the boundaries, you can specify whatever you like. But when you define the boundaries, extends A, the type you are writing must be subclass of what type? A type. Either A or its subtypes. Now I am writing I4, here I am writing A, I8 equal to, any compile time error? No compile time error. Can I take B, I4 of B I am writing I9. Is it allowed? Allowed. Okay, next I am writing C I10. Is it allowed? Allowed. Okay, now if you write D, is D subtype? No. Compiler will throw error. Incompatible types cannot infer functional interface descriptor for I4. Okay, na? Type argument D not within boundaries of type variable T. So this is the next important rule you should know. Up to now comfortable? This is generic parameter wise. If you have any questions in generic parameter, please ask. Or the 14th point? The method argument type must be same or subtype of generic parameter. Next rule, if functional interface has generic type with boundaries, if functional interface has generic type with boundaries, okay, the parameter type must be same type or it's a subtype of generic parameter bound type. Okay, first one is argument, second one is parameter itself. Can hope you understand these 2 points? Please confirm. If you have any doubts, if any confusions, ask me. I'm ready to explain you again. Okay. Now, try to answer. Can I write a statement like this? Can I write a statement like this? RTFN test 05 underscore 7. Can I write like this? Can I display lambda expression? Can I display lambda expression? If you want to display lambda expression, there should be a matched argument. Na? If you pass a 5 is of what type? Int. Println of int method matched. Allowed. Okay, if you pass a 5.6 what type? Double. Println of double parameter method is available, so it is accepted. And now, like that, my question is, if you pass lambda expression as an argument, there should be a matched parameter. Na? What is the matched parameter of lambda expression? Functional interface. Is there any functional interface parameter println method? No. Then is compiler not compiled? Not compiled. Compiler throw error. Compiler throw error. No suitable method found for println of this syntax. We have boolean, char, int, long, float, double, char array, string, object. So catching my point? What is the next rule? What is the next rule? We cannot print lambda expression directly because like null, it must specify lambda. We must specify lambda expression type explicitly by using functional interface. Println doesn't have functional interface parameter. Okay, if you write directly like this, compiler throw error. Next. In a class, if you overload a method with functional interfaces as a parameter, listen carefully. Println is a overloaded method, na? Like println method, I am creating my own methods, M1, M2, M3 method. I am creating my own methods, M1, 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 M1 with different functional interface as parameter. And if you invoke overloaded method by passing lambda expression as argument, compiler decides which overloaded method must execute based on lambda expression parameter and return value. Understand that? Let me try to show you that. Tester 05 underscore 8. Very interesting point. Now, I am creating one functional interface I1, which contain void M1 no parameter semicolon. Next, I'm creating one more functional interface I2 with void same parameter M1, same name M1 with the parameter int I. Now, I'm creating a class called example. In the example class, I'm defining, okay, one static method or non-static method, your wish. For calling purpose, I'm taking static void. If I'm taking some method called, let's say, M5 method, Now system dot out dot println. I am writing here I1 and I am writing here I2. Okay, and here I am writing system dot out dot println I1 param method is executed. This is a overloaded method chapter, you know, right? In childhood only you discussed. I2 param method is executed. Now from the test class, I am calling example. I'm calling example.m5 method. If you pass lambda expression directly as an argument, compiler searching for what? Compiler searching for matched parameter of this lambda expression. Tell me, which functional interface is matched with this lambda expression? Is there any compile time error? No compile time error. What is that? Semicolon. Control 1, compile, control 2. Look at that, I1 param method is executed. How we decided I1 param method executed? It is start searching for interface, functional interface as a parameter. Okay, it is a searching for M5 of, in example class M5, I1 param. I1 is what? An interface which contain one abstract method. Okay, it is a functional interface. Lambda expression can be implementation of this functional interface. Okay, now it is matched. But when it is matched, immediately not executed. It is moving to next parameter also. Next parameter is I2. I2 is what? Interface, which contain only one abstract method. So it is also functional interface. Is it matched with this functional interface? No, because it is a parameterized, it is a non-parameterized. Control 1, compiler, not throwing any error, executed. Now, I am calling by passing what you call any parameter name P arrow, right? Parenthesis not required. Now tell me, any compile time error? No. It is a one parameter method. Then compile successfully executed. I2 param method is executed. Now if we write here int P, any compile time error? Wait, if you want to write data type, you have to place in parenthesis. You cannot write directly data type parameter name. If you want to write data type, you must place in the bracket. Okay, int P, compiled or not? Yes. Which parameter method executed? I2 parameter method executed. Can I use here parameter double P if I write? Is it compiled or not compiled? Double param functional interface, found or not found? Not found. Double param functional interface is not found. So compiler will throw error. Everyone understand? These are the simple overloading method chapter point. No suitable method found for M5. Then tell me next. Now I am commenting it. Now I am creating one more interface. I am creating one more interface. I3 whose method has a parameter same as I2. Now I am overloading I3. Then now tell me, this line lambda expression matched with which functional interface? It is matched with I1? No. Is it matched with I2? Yes. Is it matched with I3? Yes. Which functional interface should execute? Then confusion. It will throw error. Reference to M5 is ambiguous. Method M5 of I2 in example method M5 of I2 in example match. Okay. Now I am taking one more case. Let me write here long. Okay, I will take it separately 1 minute. This case, if I mix, then you will get problem. I will take it separately. Let it be there one case. I am taking same program, copy, Alt F1, paste, test 9. Sir, these many cases confusing. These many cases confusing. Tell me. Is there any ambiguous error will come? I2, I3. I have overloaded I2, I3 with int. Okay, let me take first int. Okay, I take an int. Is there any confusion? Yes. Okay, here for this M5, which parameter method to call, it has a confusion. Reference to M5 is ambiguous. Okay. Now I am taking one more case. 10. Here I3 method parameter I am taking long. Okay, method parameter type I am taking long. Test 11. Think none. Is it compiled or not compiled? Taken I2 int, I3 long, and here I have taken P. No problem with no parameter. And here line number 26. Is it compiled or not compiled? Below. Is it compiled or not compiled? It is not compiled. You will get ambiguous error. Why? Example.m5 P lambda expression matched with one parameter. Huh? It is int param and long param, single param. That single param should match to which parameter? That's ambiguous. How to solve this ambiguous problem? Anybody can help me? How can we solve this ambiguous error? Here, you must write explicitly parameter type. Int p arrow body. Look at there, no compile time error. Now, if interviewer asks a question, when parameter type is mandatory in lambda expression creation, what do you answer? When parameter type is mandatory in lambda expression, if they ask, what you answer? If we overload a method with functional interfaces, and in both functional interfaces, we have same list of parameters. To avoid ambiguous error, we have to take parameters explicitly. Tell me, can you solve ambiguous error in this case? Can you solve ambiguous error in the previous case? No, you cannot solve. Because both the interfaces parameter types are same, int. You cannot solve. I can solve. How can I solve? You cannot solve ambiguous error here. How can I solve? Can I write like this? Example.m5 of once upon a time long ago, you discussed typecasting, P arrow, body. Is the typecasting applied here? Can I use lambda expression typecast to write I2? Right. Look at that. Is it compiled? Yes. Sorry. Okay, I should write what I2. This lambda expression belongs to what parameter? Parameter matching is what? I2 and I3. Then which parameter lambda expression you want to execute? I2. Now you can solve ambiguous error by using either variable assignment or by using cast operator. I2, I3. Control 1 compile, control 2 execute. Look at the I2 param, I3 param. You can use lambda expression casting to the class. I hope all you people understand how to solve ambiguous error problem. When you get ambiguous error, how to solve ambiguous error problem. Did you understand now? And tell me, here either by using parameter types or by using cast operator also we can solve, right? This is I2 and here I'm taking I3. Compiler, yes. Bracket expected. I2 param, I3 param. Right. So this is a ambiguous error related points. You have to know it. Now look at that. In a class, if you overload a method with a functional interface as parameters, and if you invoke that overloaded method by passing lambda expression as an argument, Compiler decides which overloaded method must executed based on Lambda expression parameter and return value. If those functional interface contains same parameter, same return type method, compiler will throw ambiguous error. In this case, we must cast Lambda expression to the targeted functional interface. If a functional interfaces contain methods either with the same parameter or with the different return type, we no need to cast Lambda expression to interface type. Compiler can find automatically. Okay, void m1, void m1. And now tell me, if you overload with I1, I2, there is an ambiguous error. How can I solve ambiguous error? Cast to I1, cast to I2. The next, if you take here I4 functional interface, tell me, I1 and I4 I have taken. Do I need to do any casting? Not required, because that is no parameter void. This is a no parameter int. Casting is not required. Now let me copy this program. Let me copy this program and let me test it. Final case. Copy. Now first Lambda expression I am taking. It throws error, ambiguous error, because no parameter method confusion. No suitable method found. Lambda expression, if you pass directly to println method, we are getting compile time error, no suitable method found. Okay. Now we have our own overloaded methods. Example class has our own overloaded methods. I am passing here. If you pass match found but ambiguous. Reference to M3 is ambiguous. Both M3 of I1, M3 of I2 matched. What the solution to this problem? You have to use typecasting. Okay, I1, I2 typecasted. Control 1 compile, control. I1 param, I2 param. Okay. The next. Now I am trying to call M4 method. Look at the M4 method. What the overloaded? I1, I3. I1, I3. I1 is no parameter. I3 is a parameter. So I am passing now no parameter. Which parameter method executed? I1 parameter is executed. I am passing with the X parameter. We pass with X parameter, one parameter method. So I3 executed. I1, I3 executed. Let me comment it. Sir, understanding or confusing? I understood. I understood. What about you? I understood. What about you? Are able to match the points? Control 1, control 2. I1 param, I3 param. Are able to match? I am able to match. Are you able to match? And tell me, E1.M5 of M5 method. Tell me, what are the M5 methods, parameters? M5, I1, I4. Tell me, I1 return type is void, I4 return type is int. Can compiler differentiate both parameters? Yes. Even the parameters same, because of return type, it can differentiate. Now look at that. I am not returning any value from here. So compiler will pronounce it as it is a functional interface with void no parameter, void no parameter. And here return type is there. Compiler pronounce it as int return type no parameter method. So no compile time error, compile successfully, executed successfully. I1, I4. No need of doing any casting. If a return type parameters both are same, then ambiguous error will come. Next, I6. I6 is what? I4, I5. I4, I5. Return type is int, return type is long. Okay. Then any confusion here? Now any confusion here? No confusion. Right? No confusion will come. Why? Because this is 5 matched to int. This is single quote char matched to int. Control 1, compile. Control 2, execute. I4, I4. Okay, I4 executing. I4 param execute. If you want to execute I5, what to do? You must pass argument as what type? Long type. 5L. 5L I passed. Then, which parameter method executed? I5 parameter method is executed. Okay, now next, if I pass float, compiler will throw error because No suitable method found with float pair. So this is the basic idea about overloading point and lambda expression related all points. So what the 16 point? Overloading ambiguous error. Compiler can resolve the methods, overloaded methods with return type and parameters. If method is overloaded with functional interfaces, those contain same return type and parameter method, compiler will throw ambiguous error. Compiler will throw ambiguous error. We can resolve this problem. We can resolve this problem by casting to target functional interface. Okay. So these are the all points about functional interface related. Now finally tell me, lambda expression characteristics. Can lambda expression has name? No. Can lambda expression has return type? No. Can lambda expression has modifiers? No. Can lambda expression has parameters? Yes. How many? 0 or n number? How many parameters? 0 or n number depending on the functional interface method parameter. Depending on functional interface method parameters. Can lambda expression return value? Yes or no, depending on functional interface. Depending on functional interface method return type. Can lambda expression throw exception? Again, depending on functional interface. Unchecked exception it can throw. Checked exception can throw only if functional interface method has throws checked exception. Can lambda expression call other methods? Yes. Can lambda expression create object? Yes. Can lambda expression has a state? No. Inside lambda expression, this keyword refers to current enclosing method, current object members. Okay, this is the story about lambda expression. And now there are some differences between anonymous inner class and lambda expression. Totally, I have listed out 14 differences. Those 14 differences, we'll see that. And following by advantages of lambda expression. So tomorrow, just first half an hour, we will try to complete this lambda expression and we'll enter it into method reference topic. Okay, now? I hope today class, all the people understood. Little bit heavy in programming. So expecting all the people to practice. Today discussed points are what? Local variable, parameter, local variable points, and modifying method local variable, this keyword, and exception 4 plus overloading points. Generic parameter and overloading points, okay? So I hope you all understood, and I will upload this video to YouTube also. Please try to watch and practice once again. Are material, everything there in YouTube, Baba. Whatever I am showing here, that is recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Now from there you write notes. I'm showing every rule there, right? Pause video and write yourself. Yes or no? Thank you. That's all for the day. See you all tomorrow.